I'm with Nick. We're at Lorette, like always, the local skate park, and we are going to teach you guys like the most basic beginner tricks for scootering. Which we're gonna start with the bunny hop, because you'll need a bunny hop to do any trick pretty much in scootering, any like actual real trick. And then we're gonna do a whip, a bar, a 180 and a 360. I guess the 180 and the 360 could just be considered spins, and you can kind of just work up from a 180. But we're gonna start at a bunny hop, and then a whip and a bar you'll need for so many tricks. Pretty much every trick in scootering you'll need to know how to do those basic tricks for. So we're gonna go with the bunny hop. I guess there's two variations of jumping on a scooter. Is the J-hop, which is you put your front wheel up first, and then the back. That's usually what most tricks you'll use a J-hop for, and you can usually get a lot higher height, because on a J-hop you can pop the front up, the back, and then lift your legs up and get even more height. And the other one is a bunny hop, which is just both at the same time. It might be easier to start with a bunny hop, and it might be easier to start with a bar with a bunny hop, but most tricks you'll use a J-hop for. So bunny hops and J-hops are pretty simple. We're gonna do bunny hop first. So to do a bunny hop, all you're doing is the full trick is that you're on the scooter and you jump with your legs, pull up with your hands so it stays on your feet with the grip tape, and so your whole scooter goes up. This is a pretty simple trick. If you want, you can practice it with one foot on the ground, just like the motion of you bringing your scooter up with your feet. But it's a pretty simple trick. Usually people get it right away, that like, just bend your legs, pull up with your hands, and pull up with your feet all at the same time so the scooter stays with your feet, and that should be simple enough to do bunny hop. So now I'll just show you kind of what a bunny hop is useful for. A J-hop is useful for more things than a bunny hop, but I can show you a couple variations of what you can use the bunny hop for. So next is a J-hop, pretty similar to a bunny hop, but a lot more versatile. So J-hop, again, is the front wheel coming up, you're pulling up with your hands, you're straightening out, and then you can bend your legs too to get a little more height. So for J-hop, simple, just take your hands, you pull up, you can even practice that, just simple, pulling up with your hands. And then next you're gonna hop and push your hands, like similar to a skateboard. If you're on a skateboard, how you ollie on a skateboard is you slide your foot forward. Same thing here, but you're using your hands instead of your feet. So you go up and push, just like that. It's three motions: pull back, up, push. As simple as that. Just a note for like the J-hop versus the bunny hop is that J-hops are there for actually jumping on things. Bunny hops, you kind of learn to work up the J-hops. Some tricks are easier with bunny hops to learn, like sometimes bars can be easier combined with a bunny hop, but generally you're using a J-hop to jump onto things. So try to work towards a higher J-hop than putting your energy towards a higher B-hop. So for a 180, really simple, similar to a J-hop, but you're just turning 180 degrees around. You're simply just turning like that. Start with just learning the simple 180, and don't worry about turning back out of the 180 until you get good at the 180s. But all you do is you're going straight and you jump, turn your head. Turning your head is really important. You turn your head. You can turn your bars if it helps you. Turn your head and your bars and spin around in a circle. You can even practice like this if you want. Just literally doing 180. I know that looks kind of dumb, but it does help. And then once you get good at jumping just like this, you can roll out, which looks really good on a 180, or you can, for learning, you can roll back, but not a lot, and then 180 out just like that. So if you're learning, you can just, which usually is easier than rolling backwards, which can take a lot of practice to do. These are some examples of a 180. We're gonna do it kind of how versatile you can do. We're gonna do one on the quarter, and maybe one on the bank, and maybe something on
Off
a ledge.
and then air.
And then, yeah, there's so many uses you can use a 180 for. You use them all the time, just airing on quarters, like anything. So we're gonna show you some examples now. Okay, so next is the bar spin, and there's kind of two different variations of a bar spin. There's just the bar spin, and then there's a throw bar. So a bar spin is you take one hand and you bring the bar around, and your other hand goes under, and then you catch with your other hand and bring the bars back around. And a throw bar is simply just chucking the bars, and you just grab them again, you just throw them across, and there's no hand going under. Sometimes throw bars are a little easier if you have less time in the air. Bar spins are usually a little bit easier and more controlled. A good way to practice bar spins is in grass, just in case if you like fall over or catch a foot or something, you're not falling onto concrete. And a really good tip for you guys is to not learn half bars, which is just obviously turning the bars halfway around, because you'll get in a habit of that and it'll make it a lot more difficult for you guys to do bars. So if you're going for a bar spin, just try to go for the full bar. For a bar spin, all you simply do is you take your right hand, whatever way, figure out which way it feels to bar spin first, and that'll be the easier way for you, depending which hand you're dominant with. So you take that hand, and you take your other hand off the bars, just like that, and you're gonna bring it around with your one hand, whichever way feels better, and you're gonna bring that hand under, and you're gonna take your other hand, just like that, it goes under, and you're gonna let go of your other hand, and kind of just help guide the bars around again. It might be easier to learn the bars to bunny hop first, but they look a lot cooler, and usually you can put more tricks into it if you J-hop into a bar, just like that. So a J-hop, usually you'll get a little more utility out of that. Here are some examples. So next trick is a whip. Obviously you saw that first example. So whip is you're on 2 feet and you use this foot here, or whatever way you ride. If you ride oppo, you can use your other foot and use this foot here, and you're kicking the scooter around and landing on it again. Once you get really good at whips, you learn to stick your foot out and actually catch the whip. But whips are really cool tricks, and they could be really difficult to learn at first, but it's a really simple trick once you get the concept of it. So all you're doing, you're on 2 feet like this, and you take this foot and you jump. Usually it's easy with a J-hop. You're gonna jump, take this foot, swing the deck around, and land back on it with 2 feet. You can obviously try these just like this. You can practice it like this. You can practice it like this. I've done before if you're other footed, and practice it like this. Like this, where you put your foot in front and kick it out and then land on it again. So it's probably cut off. And a really important thing for whips is you get the bar motion too. You learn that too. So when you kick it, you're not just leaving your bars straight because the deck won't turn, but you're kicking it and you're spinning the bars like this. And if you get really good with that motion, you can learn to whip a lot faster and a lot more. So weird people like Nicholas kick front foot. So you can see it wasn't his back foot kicking, but it was his front foot kicking. And that also works, but you just gotta practice your whips a little different. You just gotta learn to kick front foot rather than back foot. Camera died, so we're using Nick's phone now, so hopefully it's not too bad. So last trick, very similar to 180, pretty much the same thing, but instead of going 180, you're going all the way around, right back to where you landed. So pretty much very similar to 180, you're turning your head. That's really important in these. It might kind of look weird or it might not seem like it helps, but turning your head is really important in 360s and 180s, any spin trick. So again, you're just jumping. A J-hop here will be easier. To land this trick flat, you might need to get a pretty good J-hop, so a pretty good base of what you're landing your tricks with. So you might need a pretty high J-hop to land this, because if you're doing it flat, you'll need a lot of air time to go all the way around and land again. But you can land it out of fly out, you can land it out of a bank, you can land it out of off a box, you can land this trick out of anything, and you can combine a lot of tricks with 180s and 360s. So we tried to pick a bunch of tricks, beginner tricks that you can do combined with each other. So you can do a 360 whip, you can do a 360 bar spin, a 180 whip, 180 bar. You can like whip bar, bar whip. You can do tons of combos with all these tricks. And obviously the base is the J-hop and the bunny hop. So we're gonna show you some combos here that look really cool. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Those are like 4.5, 5 basic tricks you should know in scootering. Before you advance further, make sure you got those 5 tricks down, and it'll really help you in the future. Peace.